yourself. I have my best friend lives, we don't even live in the same town. She lives in Sarasota, and there's not a day that passes that we don't encourage each other.
Wow.
We never want to be on the phone if it's not encouraging.
Right.
Some days she encourages me, some days I encourage her.
Yeah.
But our whole interaction and relationship with each other is just about love. What did you do? What do you have great going on here? What's next? What did you do to your house? What did you do with your kids? You know, it's all about, but I've had a lot of negative people along the way. And I've had to, you know, sometimes you just have to love them, they say, from the balcony.
Yeah. Yeah, from a distance.
So especially when you're going forward, you're moving up and you're trying to get things done. There's lots of tools out there that, you know, and I think now it's even easier because you have access to
so many.
You have, if you need stuff done, you know, assistants that are not even maybe, you can do online.
Virtual
You can do,
assistants,
you need websites, you need stuff printed. It's a lot easier where, you know, and it's not as expensive.
Yeah.
So there's tools that are accessible. Once you have your purpose, you know what your purpose is. Make use of them. Make use of the people that can make your life easier. Coming from somebody who always believed that the only way to get it done was to do it yourself.
Yes.
That's outdated.
Yes.
My husband always says, find ways to work smarter, not harder.
Correct.
And so I've adapted. It's been hard to adapt that, but I've adapted. I'm like, you know what? I got some great, incredible people around me. And when we all work together,
incredible
teamwork
things
makes
happen.
the dream work.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Because collaboration, I find, is like one of the hardest things, especially for women.
Yeah.
Because why is Regina all dressed up?
Yeah.
I don't know, but what? She's not going to help me. Why would I ask her that? But she knows how to do it.
Yeah.
She's proven that she's been successful at X, Y, and Z. Why wouldn't I ask her,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
So I feel as a community that we need to dispel that myth as well. And so on that note, I feel like you've successfully launched something, another facet of your brand,
Right.
which is called Recharge.
Recharge, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So Recharge was birthed right before the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
So I was excited, super excited about Recharge Women's Empowerment Weekend Getaway because as mothers, as wives, as daughters, as business owners, I know for me, one of the worst things is when my phone battery goes dead.
Yeah.
And I have no charge.
Perfect.
And so
Perfect analogy.
I'm like, where's the charger? How can we get plugged back in? And I realized I created an experience that was going to bring us on a weekend, but it was also going to, how can we propel? We're going to connect. We're going to have some fun, but I was bringing business, you know, tax experts, financial experts, insurance, just different parts about women, because we need to recharge maybe sometimes our health. Our finances, our fitness, you know, different aspects, and then fun, you know, fashion. So this was all of what was going on. And unfortunately, the pandemic hit. We went into lockdown. And I had women that were like, oh man, I need this so bad. I had people that were like, I'm signing up right away.
Yeah.
And then I'm faced with, okay, there's the hotels are not doing events no more. Everything was already booked. We were doing the first one in Florida. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to let this time pass and not be impactful, not go with my purpose.
Yeah.
I found a way to do my first ever live event, which was,
online?
It was a struggle.
Virtual?
But I said we did it through like Instagram and I had speakers and stuff like that. And I said, God, I'm not going to let my purpose and what I know you've instilled in me to move this forward.
Wow.
So I did it the same date. I did the weekend. We did activities. And I had people that have sent me messages that weekend in tears. This speaker, you know, because we ended it with a pastor.
Yeah.
So I had people that, and I'm like, wow, this is it.
Impact.
This is, whether it's 4 or 5 or 1 or 20. And right away they're like, okay, we need to get, and then I started, like I said, I already did that.
So I'm done.
And then I would get phone calls, messages. We need another, when are you doing? And I said, right now I'm going to wait until I feel it. And I said, you know what? That's an excuse.
Yeah.
The pandemic gave us a reason to have a lot of excuses. You don't interact with people. You're not going out of your house. And then I said, you know what? That's enough of it. This is enough. That's enough excuses. You have to fulfill your purpose. You cannot walk in it and then decide I'm no longer going to be purposeful. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I have an upcoming event coming up May 1st for Mother's Day.
Perfect.
And it's going to be, this one's just going to be, it's called Coffee and Conversation.
Okay.
And it's just going to be, it's already pretty much almost sold out. But it's going to be a small event. Yeah, right away. I mean, I got and that's when you know. That's when you know. When God, it's like I always say, when God gives you a vision, he's always going to make the provision.
Yeah.
So just make the first step. Do not be afraid. The doors are going to open. And so with that, I'm also going to have I'm going to go forward. I said, I'm not going to wait till next year. I'm not going to make an excuse.
Okay.
Because the first one was in Florida. Then it went virtual. Then I got the vision to do it in the Bahamas. So it was going to be in Freeport.
Okay.
And then the hotels brought the restrictions back.
Got it.
So I canceled that. And I just said, I actually got a phone call from the hotel where I was having the initial, this was 2 days ago. This is when you know that your timing is right on point. The lady called me and she said, you know what? I know you were having an event. I know we were locked down. Let's get it back. And I said, you know what? I already had set a date that I wanted to do it in memory of one of our employees that was a great friend of ours. Her last post on our Instagram when she passed away was Recharge, was my event. And I said, whenever I do the event, because it was like she was speaking to me in her last post. She died of breast cancer a few months ago. And she was a big supporter. She was like, whatever you want to do. And I told her sister, her birthday is November 1st, and then breast cancer is October. So I said between October or November, this is going to be in memory of her. And because she fought, I mean, she was going through cancer. She was fighting, and she was resilient, happy. You could never imagine the amount of pain she was going through. And I think she signifies that the way that we live our lives. That we just got to keep going, keep fighting, and go after your purpose. So I'm hoping to see you there and have you there. And
we going.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Awesome. So that's a perfect note to end on. I'm so excited for you. I know you're going to just do amazingly well. I'm sure Recharge will. And again, it's not about the hundreds. It's about the 2 or 3 that you touch along the way. And it's going to grow. Like, I just see it growing.
Thank you. And I feel the same way about you. I know this is going to be, so many great things are going to happen for you. So
thank you so
much. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of it.
Yes, absolutely. I couldn't think of a better person. We've chatted so far with almost 70 women.
Wow.
This month is actually our 2-year anniversary.
Wow. So happy anniversary.
Thank you for being a part of this platform.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to everyone for watching another episode of Let's Chat with Tanya Lightborn. We'll see you next time.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, President of JAGS International weigh in on the new protocols for cruise line passengers traveling to the Bahamas. Also, the 4th edition of NACAT Championships is in the history books. But did the games provide some economic relief to Grand Bahama? Jay Philippe has reactions. And the summer break is over. Teachers are making their way back to the classrooms with excitement. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Ramiko Knowles. We do apologize for the late start. Well, good news for the cruise industry as changes to the COVID-19 arrival protocols for cruise passengers traveling to the Bahamas are now aligned with air arrival protocols. Tonight, a veteran in the tourism sector believes that the relaxing of measures throughout the country is great for the tourism industry. Effective Monday, August 22nd, 2022, fully vaccinated persons traveling to the Bahamas are no longer required to present a negative rapid antigen or RT-PCR test. As for unvaccinated travelers, they will be required to submit testing up to 72 hours before travel. While those restrictions were previously relaxed for cruise passengers traveling to Grand Bahama, Senator James Turner says the relaxing of measures for passengers traveling to other islands of the Bahamas is great for tourism.
We know that bringing everything in sync where the vaccinated passengers do not need to provide a test to come home is very good for tourism. It makes travel in and out of the Bahamas very easy. It makes it very simple. And we know that the vaccinated passengers are not at any significant risk. But just as good, the fact that we now allow the non-vaccinated passengers to use either a rapid antigen or a PCR test to return home is good. Because in the cases where we have families traveling, it's certainly going to be a significant savings to the non-vaccinated. And we do know that there are still many non-vaccinated passengers that are traveling for holidays.
The protocols for passengers traveling by plane took effect on Sunday, June 19th, 2022. Turner notes that the island has seen a slight uptick in airline passenger arrivals. However, he says the airport has to be in better shape. Now, the Deputy Prime Minister recently announced the appointment of a new board to oversee the development of Grand Bahamas International Airport, and Turner believes that the appointees are the right people to make it happen.
We know that we got to bring a focus on the Grand Bahama International Airport, and the fact that they have selected a good variety, a good cadre of professionals associated with such businesses is a good thing. It's going to bring a lot of expertise. You know, we got Harold, who's been with Bahamas Air forever. We got some of the other guys that have been operating businesses, so they understand the language and they understand the need to get Grand Bahama going. The hotel is going to, we're going to see some changes with the hotel, but the airport is the last remaining piece of this puzzle. And the fact that they have selected a board of competent professionals that can drive this process is good news to every Grand Bahamian.
And so overall, for the tourism industry and the tourism product here in Grand Bahama, things are going in the right direction.
Yes, I'm confident that they are going in the right direction. I think the remaining piece of this puzzle is we got to fix the tourism board. We got to fix what's happening there because the private sector needs to come in sync with what the Bahamas government is now doing so that the whole picture can be a pleasant one.
The CDC has dropped its monitoring requirements for cruise lines, and therefore the Bahamas is moving in line with international standards. A significant injection in the Grand Bahama economy this past weekend as hundreds of athletes traveled to the island for the NACAC Open Track and Field Championships. While there was some minor logistical hiccups in the beginning, those traveling to the island enjoyed their stay, while those in the tourism sector welcomed the weekend boost. Jay Philippe has this report.
With over 500 athletes, coaches, and officials on Grand Bahama this past week for the NACAC Track and Field Championships, several entities within the tourism industry saw an increase in business, one of them being the Ocean Reef Resort and Yacht Club.
They brought a lot of business to the company, and we were so grateful to have the opportunity to have them here that the economic impact was beneficial to all involved.
According to operations manager at Ocean Reef Resort and Yacht Club, Cindy Davis, the resort was completely booked beginning last week Thursday through Sunday with athletes and coaches from a number of countries.
Jamaica, Barbados, Honduras, St. Croix. We had 80 persons in total, like I said. It was a mixed culture, but it was awesome having them. The experience was one we would truly never forget.
Davis says once the resort property received the call that the teams were booked at their accommodations, resort staff immediately made the necessary preparations to welcome those guests.
We received the call at the 9th hour, to be honest. And it was a runaround because, like I said, it was the 9th hour. They called and said we needed housing. So at 11:30, 11:45 at night, myself and another coworker came down to the office, opened up, got all the rooms ready, double check, air condition, flush toilets, make sure the locks are working, and then begin the process of checking in what was that night 56 persons, then the others to follow the next morning.
In addition to the hotel receiving some much needed business this past week, a number of straw vendors in the Port Lucaya area was pleased with merchant sales derived from the influx of visitors on island.
This particular event was excellent for us here in the market. It's the Ackley scheme, And they really spent. They made us proud. I was proud of the athlete. And they loved the Bahamas. They loved the hotel where they was. They said they're gonna come back with their family and they're gonna do more shopping. But we need another event like this here in Grand Bahama for the vendors. We were very excited when they came here. And so we thank the Minister of Tourism, Minister Chester Cooper. We thank the Minister for Grand Bahama, Miss Ginger Moxie, and we thank the Prime Minister.
Well, I always used to tell the straw vendors, I say, you all be prepared because some great things are going to take place in Grand Bahama. I never knew that the team was going to come, but I used to speak in it. And I believe in God for great things for Grand Bahama. To all the teams, I just love you guys. And you know something? They said that they enjoy themselves because I normally I'll ask them. I said, how was your day? They said, we are having so much fun. I said, I am so happy to know that you all are enjoying yourself in Grand Bahama.
All in all, athletes, coaches, officials, and support staff stayed at other hotel properties on Grand Bahama, including the Grand Lucayan Hotel, Lighthouse Point, and Pelican Bay Hotel. According to sources, it appears as if an economic injection was felt with the international track meet being held on Grand Bahama. For the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition, I'm Jay Philippe.
Education beat, thousands of Bahamian educators are back in the classroom preparing for a new school year. Today, our news team spoke with the principals at the Walter Parker Freeport Primary and Sister Mary Patricia Russell to find out how plans are going to accommodate the youngsters. Our Jolanda Thompson reports.
Educators have returned to the classrooms and they're excited for what is to come. Principals at these schools sharing how their faculty have implemented guidelines and goals geared towards a great new school term. Principal from Freeport Primary School, Gia Walker, says that her administration is focusing on time and tasks taking place. Meanwhile, others are expressing this.
We're working feverishly to make sure that we stay on task with all of the goals for each of the core subjects, especially, so that that can take place, so that our students don't lose any more unnecessary time out of the classroom or from their learning.
Strong goals, discipline, communication, and staff morale. But you know, our number one goal for the year is education.
Our teachers are very excited to be back to school. They're eager to see their students face-to-face fully 100%. We're very happy about that. And because of our new theme, the teachers themselves are very happy to be retooled, reboot, and ready to go for the new school year.
These principals are saying that their teachers are elated to interact with their kids, and some are also noting that their school system has trained educators that will also be ready to address social ills in the classrooms.
Everyone's excited for the return of the face-to-face classroom. We've missed that over the past couple of months for sure, and so getting back to regular school, so to speak, is something that everyone is looking forward to.
Even though we're still, using COVID protocols, we were talking more about, being face-to-face and having more communication. Like now we're going to have, the assemblies, stuff like that, so they're excited about that.
We are able to reach them where they need. If there's a need for food, if there's a need for counseling, we can meet those needs at school. When they're home and we don't know what's going on, there's no way that we can meet that need. So it's very important for them to be here. Our guidance counselors, along with our teachers, are fully trained to deal with those situations as we see them.
The principal says that the teachers are now in preparation mode and that they are redecorating their classrooms and boards in an effort of rebooting and retooling the necessary skills for the upcoming school term. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson.
Switching gears tonight, a leader of the local Haitian community is responding to an announcement made by Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable I. Chester Cooper, yesterday, confirming that the Bahamas will host a meeting with CARICOM leaders this year to discuss the deteriorating state of Haiti. Meantime, community leader Dudley Sage shares his views on how some sort of control in Haiti could positively impact the Bahamas. Simone Davis reports.
During a meeting with CARICOM leaders this past Saturday, officials discussed details about the upcoming meeting addressing the current state of Haiti. This announcement comes on the heels of comments made by the nation's leader, the Honorable Philip Davis, who said the situation in Haiti caught the attention of CARICOM, which led to the formation of a committee to address the issues. A member of the local Haitian community, Bolivier Gustave, says while he welcomes the meeting, he advises the Bahamian government not to take on the responsibilities of Haiti.
I welcome it, but at the same time, I would caution the Prime Minister, even though that he initiate that meeting, but not to be the one to say what should have been done, but maybe the one to ask what should we do. Because it is just like a hot flower pot that I would say that he should not go and jump in it, but rather to go around it while he asks the other comrades, what should we do?
Since the assassination of Haitian President Jovenel Moïse back in 2021, Haiti has faced enormous economic challenges amid surging gang violence and ongoing political wars. While the United Nations describes Haiti as being in a state of terror, Gustave says he understands the Davis administration's desire to help, but questions what can the Bahamas do that the United Nations can't.
This country been gangsterized by a government, by a gangster government who've been supported by so much embassy in Haiti. So the question that I should ask now, what can the CARICOM do that the United Nations cannot do? Who have more power over one another? Did the CARICOM have more power over the United Nations? Or the United Nations have more power than the CARICOM? Did the CARICOM have any troops to send as the United Nations do all around the country? So who have more power? Why should be the Prime Minister to looking for solution? I welcome it still because that might help other people to understand the situation through other Caribbean country.
And while many Bahamians are questioning what does this mean for the Bahamas, community leader and president at Reach Out Ministries Dudley Sade says once the state of Haiti improves, then that would limit the amount of Haitians migrating to the Bahamas.
But I think you shouldn't fear if the government is trying to control Haiti so people from Haiti don't come to the Bahamas. I think that's the way I look at it pretty much. So hats off to the government of the Bahamas just to say, hey, if we could sit to find a way how to make sure Haiti is stabilized, then we wouldn't have the influx of people risking their life.
It has been reported that Haiti's current prime minister will be attending the meeting, but there is no confirmed date for the meeting at this time. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Simone Davis.
In news from the crime beat, 3 men hauled before the court today on a number of gun-related charges. The men appearing before Deputy Chief Magistrate Debbie Ferguson in court number 1 on charges of possession of an unlicensed firearm, possession of ammunition, and the importing of firearms into the Bahamas. Tristan Dorset, age 31 of Nansen Avenue, pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the amount of $9,000 with 3 suretors, along with $1,000 cash. He is also to be fitted with an ankle monitor. Alex Neely, age 22 of Grenfell Avenue, pleaded not guilty and was granted bail in the amount of $8,000 with 3 suretors, along with $1,000 cash. He is also to be fitted with an ankle monitor. However, Ian Walken, age 30 of Man of War Circle, pleaded not guilty but was remanded to the Bahamas Department of Correction. The trio returned to court on the 1st of November 2022 at 10 a.m. In other news, there is an increase in appeals for blood donations on Grand Bahama, but the lack of regular voluntary blood donations remain a concern. Tonight, Jolanda Thompson speaks with an orthopedic surgeon who is pleading for persons who are eligible to donate blood to do so.
There has been a surge in requests for blood. Orthopedic surgeon and medical chief of staff at the Rand Memorial Hospital, Dr. Freeman Lockhart, he says that filling the island's blood bank comes from more than just traffic accidents. Lockhart expresses that chronic illnesses and frequent access to the hospital plays a major part in this surge.
Believe it or not, accidents is not the primary reason for blood donation, but rather it's persons who have other illnesses like cancer or chronic blood loss from bleeding internally. And as you may or may not be aware, a lot of people were intentionally staying away from the healthcare facility because of the pandemic.
He says that about 30% of the population is eligible for giving blood, but sadly only less than 5% step forward to do it, hence the constant drive for requests. Dr. Lockhart says that donators can be church members, co-workers, and neighbors because the blood bank will do the relevant testing before the transfusion.
First thing I would mention to the family when I have a talk with them is make sure that you get about 5 or 6 persons to go to the blood bank and donate. The reason we give a big number, sometimes even 8 or 10, the reason we give a big, ask them to have quite a few patients go to the blood bank is because inevitably more than half of them wouldn't be in a position to donate for one reason or the other. And so at least if 5 or 6 persons go, you may get about 2 or 3 who can actually donate for their loved one.
Lockhart spoke about the importance of exercising and says that a good diet is a big component when donating blood.
Foods like spinach, foods like eggs, red meat, fish, poultry, these are all foods that are very high in iron content. Now, what you want to do just prior to donating blood, you want to make sure that you're well hydrated, because remember, you're going to lose at least 500 mils of fluids from your body for that during the donation process. The next thing that what we advise you to do is to avoid any kind of stressful or any heavy activity, because remember, you are prone to be lightheaded and dizzy after this. So the last thing we need you to do is come in on the job, high stressful, labor-intensive job, donate blood, and then go back to work.
The doctor says vitamin C is crucial to the body, and he suggests that persons increase their uptake in citrus in an effort to strengthen their blood system. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news when we come back.
Come on down.
H&L is here for your back-to-school needs. We have backpacks that roll and backpacks that ride. We have composition books, pencils, pens, lunch bags, rulers, and everything else that you need to start your school year. We also have masks for the school of your choice. H&L is fully stocked and located in downtown Freeport, ready to serve you. Call us at 352-5470.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
So put me together, break me apart again. No doubt about it.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. An organization established to assist families affected by crime receiving a special donation. Families of all murder victims receiving some much-needed items from Snack Box Variety Store to assist students heading back to school.
Freeport is always on the back burner, you know, so as we get sponsors, we really appreciate it, and it goes a long way, because plenty families who I spoke to hasn't even got anything for their kids as yet. So with this great sponsor, I can help at least 20, 30 kids.
Wendy Fox of Foam Freeport shares that the organization has plans to feed a number of homes this month.
Through these critical times, financial stuff, people losing their families, their loved ones, you know, right now is an important time to just partner with Foam to help. Right now, all of Bahamas is going through some kind of financial problems now. So, you know, me being around and just looking around to see no jobs, you know, and a lot of families just need support and help now.
Now, she is appealing to the wider community to partner with Foam to assist families on Grand Bahama who have been impacted by crime and criminality. Your Tuesday evening sports check is up next with Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. We do have an update from Jonquil Jones and the Connecticut Sun as they prepare for Game 3 in the WNBA playoffs. We also have an update from Michael Strawn in his last preseason game for the Indianapolis Colts. But let's begin with an update from the NACAC Track and Field Championships that was recently held right here in Grand Bahama. Now that the NACAC Games is officially in the books, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, the Honorable Mario Boleg, addressed matters concerning the meet that attracted over 600 athletes, coaches and officials to the nation's second city.
While people want to find the negative out of the greatness of what we are seeing here in Grand Bahama, you know, it makes no sense, because at the end of the day, we want to develop and grow our country. Grand Bahama been through a lot, through the many hurricanes, through COVID, and we want to get the magic back in the Magic City. And so for those who wants to use the small, minute negative things that might have happened, which, you know, things happen in any event, you know, I cry shame on them, because we're trying to create and build a greater Bahamas, not a greater Nassau. And the only way we can develop and build a greater Bahamas, I should say, is by us moving to the various islands. And wherever we go, where there's a downfall, that means we need to fix it.
Former Olympic champion and decorated Bahamian quarter miler, Chris Brown also shared his thoughts on the meet.
For us to be able to hold a major competition like this here in the Bahamas, I think it's good for us, it's good for the economy, and I think it's something that's good for the athletes, because it'll uplift their spirits and bring them back to where we want to get excited again about sports. So overall, I think everybody's experience has been pretty good. Based upon the feedback I've gotten, no events can go without hiccups. So again, we also have to know that, take that into consideration. So we will make those minor adjustments. You know, I'm not a part of this event, but my duty now is to assist where I can. And so me seeing one or two things that can make the event better, I will lead my assistance to them. And hopefully that when we put on another event, we'll see that those hiccups can be avoided.
Strong touchdown.
Switching gears now from the track to the football field, Grand Bahamian Michael Strawn and his Indianapolis Colts lost to the Detroit Lions 27-26 in their second preseason game of the year. However, Strawn had a pretty good showing on the field for the Colts with 3 receptions for 45 total yards, including a touchdown. The Colts now fall to 0-2 for the preseason. Up next, Strawn and the Colts will take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this Saturday, August 27th. And finally in sports, Jonquil Jones and the Connecticut Sun lost to the Dallas Wings 89-79 in Game 2 of the WNBA playoffs on the weekend. Jones scored 20 points and grabbed 9 rebounds in 22 minutes. As for the Sun, they will now play in Game 3 that is scheduled for 9 p.m. Wednesday to keep their playoff hopes alive. It's win or go home for the Suns. And that's a quick check on sports. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
It's back to school with Bellevue Books and Supplies. Shop now and get huge savings on composition books, 15% off textbooks, workbooks, school supplies, and all teachers' aids. Bellevue Books and Supplies, Queens Highway, making going back to school more affordable.
It's back to school again, folks. You don't only want to beat the rush, you want the most affordable prices. Shop at Invading Force Bookstore and Supplies and save.
No VAT.
Currently located in Pioneers Loop, number 3 Ashton Ange Building.
No VAT.
Fully stocked with all your texts and workbooks, including school supplies.
No VAT.
Serving all schools on the island, both government and private, from kindergarten to high school. And guess what? They're VAT-free. Bring that book list, they'll make it happen. Phone them today at 374-2401. They don't just match prices, they beat it. Your number 1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Lyndon Forbes, you are our Facebook friend of the day. And of course, we want to say thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate your support. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Ramiko Knowles. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to stay tuned as the Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the national report, the Bahamas ditches the COVID cruise mandate. The push to transform Port of Ski, a life remembered. And in the world of sports, Bahamas men's team gear up for Venezuelan showdown. The Bahamas Tonight, the national report, starts now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Superfast Internet for Less. Best rate, no debate. Sign up today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the national report. Thanks so much for joining us. Getting to the root of Haiti's deep-seated woes, a recurring theme on CARICOM's agenda. But this time, the regional body is hoping to find a solution. After all, Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis has been appointed to head a CARICOM committee to get to the bottom of the island's issues, perhaps once and for all. Davis acknowledges, though, that any solution must be a Haitian one. Still, just this past weekend, a meeting was held in Trinidad with Deputy Prime Minister the Honorable Chester Cooper attending in the PM's stead.
I've been briefed, and the next step is for me to determine when I will host my leaders, my fellow leaders here in the Bahamas, along with the Haitian Prime Minister, to find the pathway to peace and stability. And we have to be concerned, as just for humanity. From a humanitarian point of view, we have to be concerned of the plight of our fellow human beings in Haiti. And for the Bahamas, it's a security issue as well, because of when they are coming to the Bahamas, we have to look after them. We don't know all of the issues that surround those persons who come, and it is concerning.
Now, speaking of Haiti, more than 100 Haitians recently apprehended in local waters are headed to the capital, where Minister of Labor and Immigration, the Honorable Keith Bell, says they will receive medical attention.
The basic protocols would be followed. That is, you would have the medical team who would ensure that there are no medical issues and then or health issues. Once that is done, then they would be processed, and once that is done and due process would follow, of course, they would then be repatriated as soon as we possibly can once we communicate with Haiti to receive them back.
This latest apprehension comes as Defense Force Commodore Dr. Raymond King earlier this month pegged this year's apprehensions at 2,250, a figure exceeding the combined total of the past 3 years. Bell attributed the rise to political unrest in both Haiti and Cuba. He also addressed whether the turmoil in those countries would speed up the presentation of the asylum bill.
We've seen a significant increase in irregular migrants from Cuba and from Haiti. But the good thing is our law enforcement agencies, along with our U.S. Coast Guard, they're doing a marvelous job in terms of intercepting them and ensuring that we detain them, and of course, then we repatriate as quickly as we can. There are a number of issues and challenges that are being faced by all of our Caribbean islands, and certainly the Bahamas, as I've emphasized over repeatedly, we have to ensure that we protect our interests for our people and future generations. And so whatever we need to do as a government in terms of legislative reform, legislative amendment, and the enactment of new pieces of legislation, you will see that.
In more upbeat news, it's another win for the top industry. The Bahamas has further loosened COVID-19 protocols following last year's extension. In this report, the tourism minister speaks to how such changes will impact cruise passengers looking to disembark in the Bahamas. Cleopatra Murphy has the details.
The Bahamas has removed the COVID-19 mandate for cruise passengers coming to Bahamian shores. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, says the intent is to bring cruise protocols in line with those for air travel. The new protocols and COVID-19 testing regime took effect Monday.
If you are vaccinated, you require no test to enter the country. If you're unvaccinated, you require a PCR or a rapid antigen test. This has now been harmonized for cruise arrivals as well as air arrivals. Cruise lines now require to put in place and have those procedures validated and approved by the Ministry of Health.
The changes follow the Centers for Disease Control's decision to drop its cruise monitoring program.
We want to ensure that there's proper monitoring and surveillance of passengers on board, and we want to ensure that they have appropriate protocols and facilities on board to handle positive COVID cases.
The Minister of Tourism pointing out that the Bahamas has been at the forefront of developing cruising regulations during the COVID-19 pandemic. This in the face of the expectation of the Bahamas attracting nearly 5 million tourists this year and exceeding that number next year.
As you know, we're building a $300 million port at the Nassau Cruise Port, and we need to ensure that we are competitive in terms of what we do as it relates to our protocols, whilst at the same time continuing to protect the health and safety of our residents.
As to whether the Bahamas will follow the CDC's lead in eliminating the 6-foot social distancing protocols and quarantine for those in close contact with someone infected with the virus, Cooper insists the country must be mindful of public health and the capacity of health infrastructure, something health officials are balancing.
There's COVID fatigue around the world. The world has moved on. We're a tourism destination. And suffice to say, you know my views. I believe it's important that Bahamians get vaccinated and that we continue the relaxation of our protocols, but that's not in my direct wheelhouse.
For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
And just in case you needed another reason to celebrate, here goes. No local COVID cases on record for August 21st. And this following 13 the day prior. 9 on New Providence, 2 on Grand Bahama, with the locations of another 2 pending. As of Sunday, though, 25 people were fighting off the illness in hospital, just 1 of them on the intensive care unit of Doctors Hospital. Further, at last count, there were 187 active cases, while another 10 people had been added to the local recovery count. Well, meantime, as for the country's COVID vaccination rates, as of August 20th, total doses administered were just under 360,000. 359,269 to be exact. Some 160,606 people have received the first dose, 170,000 plus fully vaccinated, and this includes the 1-dose Johnson & Johnson vaccine. By island, New Providence has 120,290 fully vaxxed residents. Grand Bahama, 22,073, and Eleuthera, 5,872. Now, of note, total doses administered includes extended and booster doses. To make an appointment online, feel free to visit vax.gov.bs.
Hi, this is Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean with a tropical weather update brought to you by BTC and CBS Bahamas. In the tropics, we have 3 tropical waves out there, but they have a very low chance of developing over the next 5 days or so. The first is still pretty much over Africa, and that's moving towards the west at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Have some good convection associated with it, so once that gets over the warm waters, we'll see that bump up to a 20% chance of development. And then secondly, we have a wave in the middle of the Atlantic. This one not well defined. Some isolated showers associated with the system, which is also moving towards the west at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the third wave, this one, is affecting parts of the Bahamas as well. You can see it right here on the east coast of Cuba, stretching into Central America. Widespread showers associated with the system, which is also sliding towards the west. Low chance of developing, but this too could be bumped up to about 20% in the next 5 days. That has been your ZNet's Tropical Weather Update, brought to you by BTC and CBS.
Also to come, a new digital response team launched and an aggressive campaign to remove sinking ships. We'll be back after the break.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
We are a leading Bahamian bank, one of the largest publicly traded companies on BISIX. Our measure of strength is our growth and performance, with over $1.7 billion in assets. We remain committed to serving the interests of our shareholders, staff, clients, and communities. The confidence to lead, the performance to remain. We are Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
What? Check old girl, boy. You say she getting married?
Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
We need to save.
Whatever happens, be happy. On Crazy Tuesdays, enjoy 10 pieces of crispy fried chicken thighs, legs, and whole wings for only $20. Only on Tuesdays and only at KFC Nassau.
Movie Production, VKR Insights, and the Government of the Bahamas present the National Hurricane Dorian Memorial Concert Series, New Providence, featuring Grammy Award-winning artist CeCe Winans. Thursday, September 1st at the Bahama Convention Center, 7 p.m. Doors open at 6. Admission is free, but you're encouraged to bring a donation toward the Dorian Fund. Survivors can collect their free passes Friday, August 26th only at the box office, Western Grandstand of the National Stadium. Saturday only, the general public can collect their passes at the same location. There's a limit of 3 tickets per person.
Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Hello, Bahamas. This is CeCe Winans inviting you to join me September 1st at the Bahama Convention Center as we honor the memories of the 2019 Dorian hurricane victims and families. I look forward to seeing you there.
To think of the bank as my personal ATM machine. If I wanted a new car, new furniture, a weekend trip to Miami, no problem. Just max out the credit card or top up my loan. I was a big baller until I realized that 75% of my salary was going to pay back all those loans. Fidelity's personal financial coaching was the best solution. Fidelity gave me a plan with a debt consolidation loan that has a built-in savings that pays 5% interest. I now only have one low monthly payment plus money in my pocket. Give Fidelity Bank a call at 356-7764 in Nassau or 352-6676 in Freeport. Visit any of Fidelity's locations or visit a website at fidelitygroup.com.
The finish line in sight for an initiative aimed at better protecting residents against cyber crimes. A symposium taking place today at the Super Club's Breezes Resort to update the public on the project's progress. Our Desmond Saunders has the details.
The government putting in place critical infrastructure to protect public and private agencies against cyber attacks.
In our blueprint for change, we identified cybersecurity as one of the critical initiatives for accelerating the country's economic growth and development. We also recognize that cybersecurity and cyber resilience are essential to developing a digital society and secure and protect every citizen of the Bahamas.
The National Computer Incident Response Team, or CERT, launched in 2021 to assess the country's cybersecurity resilience. The response team will become fully operational next year following Cabinet's approval. It will spring into action if and when a cyber attack occurs and will protect government, various agencies, as well as citizens against malicious digital scams and attacks.
Cybersecurity is the crucial foundation for advancing our utilization of ICT and managing cyber risks. The CERT Bahamas' mission, and I quote, to improve the country's cybersecurity posture through proactive identification and management of cyber risks, collaborated cyber information sharing and education, while protecting the constitutional rights of all Bahamians.
Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, believes this project is crucial with the rise in cyber threats globally. And as the country experiences a digital revolution, he maintains this work requires the participation of all stakeholders.
Our collaboration with our friends and partners across the globe, specifically information sharing at the regional and sub-regional levels on cyber security capacity building and development, will better position the Bahamas to deal with increasingly sophisticated cyber threats. Consistent with these advances will be our commitment to modernizing our legal framework to support our cybersecurity initiatives.
Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, what's to clarify the Prime Minister's terse response to opposition leader Michael Pintard's recent call for the government to indicate how it calculated the outstanding debt profile caused by climate events. This on the heels of the Prime Minister's recent address to the opening plenary session of the Caribbean Regional Heads of Government meeting. At the time, he noted that an exercise revealed that more than 50% of the country's outstanding debt can be linked to the impacts of the hurricanes between 2015 and 2019.
Let's start with what is our national debt. And let's start with just the Dorian, what the loss and damage was occasioned by Dorian. It was about 3.4 billion. Think about our national debt, see what percentage that is. And then just don't think about Dorian. Let's go back to Matthew. Let's go back to Joaquin. Let's go back to Irma. And look at the loss and damage. He needs to do his homework before he asks me questions. If he don't believe it, check it out himself.
One more question, please.
But at the end of the day, it is all there to see.
Meantime, the government's planning to reach a 25% revenue target of gross domestic product by fiscal year 2025-2026. And to do that, revenue enhancement measures like increasing predictability in the tax system, simplifying and reducing the compliance burden for taxpayers, support low and middle income taxpayers, as well as align with the country's environmental policy and international commitments will be implemented. The Ministry of Finance outlines how these strategies will sufficiently finance recurrent and capital expenditure while also leading the annual deficit's gradual elimination over the medium term. Now, emphasis is being placed on significantly improving real property, value-added and excise taxes, customs duties, and strengthening the Revenue Enhancement Unit. Inland Revenue Departments already hired more than 50 people to improve tax collection, compliance, and service delivery. There's also proposed changes to government user fees deemed sorely inadequate. A detailed fee examination is in the works. The goal is to allow fiscal headroom to assist government better manage unforeseen eventualities. Hours after a young man faced formal charges for the August 16th killing of Omar Davis Jr., family, friends, and loved ones poured into Pilgrim Baptist Church to honor the life of the 21-year-old shining star. Desmond Saunders has the story.
A celebration of life for 21-year-old murder victim Omar Davis Jr.
In spite of it all, we loved him. We will continue to love him.
He would clown with us. He would also help us in terms of schoolwork.
Scores gathered outside Pilgrim Baptist Church, St. James Road Monday evening, paying tributes, reliving fond memories of the star student. His bruised body discovered behind a store in Centerville last week, a senseless killing that gripped the country.
It's appealing that everybody has to deal with conflict resolution in a better way. If you know something, say something. 2 lives has been snatched away. We are grieving, and the other person, parent, is grieving.
Davis being remembered as a lovable, funny, intelligent character whose career was set to take off. He recently graduated with a double major in accounting and finance from Central State University in Ohio. Family, friends, and loved ones lit and held candles, honoring Omar, his grieving mother lost for words.
Memories of my son. Just full of joy, happiness, love, life, everything.
The candlelight vigil, organized by Pilgrim Baptist Church, Pastor Leroy Major says it was important to honor the Camp Road idol.
He was part of our youth ministry before he went off to college. Family came, and the family said, listen, we want to do a vigil for Ma. And I said, let's do it in the Camp Road area because this way he grew up, this way he born, and we just want to bring the community together.
Candlelights also lit for murder victims who died this year. With the escalating crime wave, many residents calling for peace on our streets and an end to violence. Desmond Saunders of Bahamas Tonight.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Stay with us.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
Time to save with a new perspective, where the focus is on values and principles, and people are just as important as profits, where we believe in democracy and equality, and your vote counts, where profits are shared with our members, who are also our owners, to ensure that by working together, we all win, where education of our members and training our staff are one of our highest priorities, where we serve our members' needs through continued cooperative initiatives because of our concern for the communities in which we live. Join more than 40,000 Bahamians who have made the smarter choice. Join the movement. Join a credit union. People helping people to help themselves.
Hey, it's your honorary pump attendant here to educate you on the do's and don'ts at the service station. Here's what you don't do. Do not pull up from the pump without first checking that the nozzle has been removed from your car. Because if you pop this, that's about $600,000 to $30,000 to replace. These things ain't cheap. What you want to do is make sure that the nozzle has been removed, or just wait for the universal sign, which is the double tap.
Hello? Keisha used something else, boy.
Who this is? Tamika?
You don't even remember my name? Wow, Dread.
Girl, I've been so busy. You still planning your trip?
Girl, and I can't wait. I right here online booking my car.
You dare planning trip? You vaccinated?
Girl, we had to. We ain't been nowhere since this pandemic started. Girl, and we got a 14-day vacation.
Best vacation ever.
Girl, are you though?
Well, I know you was gonna get the vaccine because you too like travel. When y'all get your vaccine?
Girl, long time. Because you gotta get your first dose, wait, then get your second dose at least 2 weeks before you travel. Johnny get his vaccine and he 12. Even Grammy get hers. Child, and Grammy say she ain't get no money. But I see her hiding that under the mattress.
Child, let me send my list because I know you going shopping.
Keisha, don't play with me.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. A message by PAHO WHO, Canada, and USAID.
Carrie's Fabrics and Uniform Store wants to get you ready for back to school. Find ready-made uniforms and uniform fabrics for all schools in the Bahamas. Carrie's also sells skirts, blouses, shirts, jumpers, boys' shorts, and pants. You can even have your uniform skirts custom made. Also find school bags, school supplies, socks, and underwear. That's Carrie's Fabric and Uniform Store on Mackey Street. Call 393-0758.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian. Good to grow. Keeping you in the know. Keeping you in the know. God, that's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow. It's good enough to eat, then it's good to grow.
The quiet community of Black Point Exuma came to life during the August Monday holiday weekend as residents and visitors from around the world celebrated the 59th Black Point Exuma Regatta. This year's regatta was held in memory of legendary sailor Captain Lundy Robinson.
The crazy partner was sailed by Lundy Robinson. We're having this regatta in honor of Lundy Robinson. And Lundy Robinson is the defending champion. So everyone is trying to beat the crazy partner so they can become the next champion.
One of the most anticipated races was the open water race that started from Staniel Key to Black Point. No stranger to the sport, Minister Clay Sweeting hopped aboard the defending champion, the Crazy Partner, where he helped the crew to secure the second place victory. First place winner, Captain Henny Wool, who sailed the slaughter, said it's good to have regattas officially back on track.
My boat is a very fast boat. We had a bar start, which we call it a stage. That's when the boat fly up in the wind. After we fly up in the wind, the rest of the boats go out away and had a good lead on us. After we got started and gathered on the way, I told my uncle, which is the skipper of the boat, I said, "Uncle, just sail the boat. We have a long way to go. By the time we get to Black Point, we'll be victorious."
Officially opening the regatta, Sweeting ensured sailors and residents that his ministry will continue to back them with the necessary resources to keep them enthusiastic about the sport.
Black Point, you'll forever have a place in my heart because this experience has enriched me as a minister, and I now have a deeper love and appreciation for the sport. Many Bahamians feel the same way. Therefore, the government of the Bahamas is keen to make sailing the national sport of the Bahamas. No other sport demonstrates the tenacity of Bahamians like sailing.
Keeping you in the know with Good to Grow, I'm Georgie O'Bain.
Hello, summer. Escape into summer when you fuel up with Shell. Every time you purchase $20 gas, you're entered to win your share of over $50,000 in cash prizes and fantastic trips, including a staycation at Grand Island Exuma, a shopping spree in Miami, and a 4-day trip to Las Vegas to see John Legend live. To enter, fuel up at Shell with $20. Go to winwithshellbahamas.com and let the fun begin. Say hello, summer with Shell today. Conditions apply. Hello, summer.
Thousands of teachers back in the classroom, prepping their workspaces for the young minds they'll mold over the next academic year. Our news team made stops to a few public campuses. Our Carla Palmer lets us in on what they found.
Palmdale Primary School was first on our unscheduled visits of government schools here in New Providence, where at first glance, painters were making last-minute touches to the exterior, while teachers were inside classrooms preparing.
Our school is about 95% ready in terms of the infrastructure. The entire roof of the upper primary block was changed, as well as the ceiling in entirety. New cupboards are now being installed, and the workers are just doing some cosmetic stuff at this time in terms of varnishing.
Coincidentally, just like us, checking in on the school's preparedness were the police, led by Superintendent Deborah Thompson. Palmdale Primary is but one of 8 schools in the Northeastern Division she will have oversight of.
We're touching bases with the principals and the executives at those schools to hear their concerns and also to introduce ourselves and to let them know that we are the point of contact and any challenges they have and an anticipation for next week.
Over at T.G. Glover Primary School, Vice Principal Katharina Williams and her teaching complement of 50 are preparing to welcome 685 students. She says work to the school this year was minimal.
T.G. Glover is ready. We are ready. Our staff, they came in yesterday. We are pumped. We are prepared. In fact, I just finished giving out supplies, so they are walking away with a whole lot of stuff to get their classrooms ready. We have 1 or 2 contractors finishing final details, but we worked throughout the weekend. We were here until 8 p.m. for the last few days, 9 o'clock, ensuring that when those students hit us on Monday, that T.G. Glover is ready to receive every child and every parent, every stakeholder. We are ready for them.
Just as eager of the end results to the new physical improvements, these school executives have high expectations of the new academic year. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
Well, as you can imagine, that VAT-free holiday leading to long lines as parents rush to get that last-minute back-to-school haul in. But the price tag on some of the essentials may look a little different from previous years. Desmond Saunders has this first in a 4-part back-to-school series.
With thousands of students awaiting the start of the new school term, scores have been hitting the stores to grab those essential supplies before returning to classrooms. Books, pens, backpacks, some of the popular items on the shelves. Manager of Book World, Darren Wong, says while activity is picking up, shoppers may have fewer options this time around.
There's a lot of shortages all over the place from all kind of things, from black and white books to textbooks. And of course the shipping, that's gone up tremendously from the gas prices. So that's taken into account whenever we do ordering. And we had to prepay for a lot of our goods before they ran out.
Book World and Janae's Uniform Outlet, among many retail giants, hit hard from the current economic crisis. And while these outlets are trying to rebound and stay afloat, they're doing what's necessary to keep customers happy and the doors open.
We had some supply chain issues where we have inventory that is still stuck in the factory because we can't get space on a ship. But, you know, we recognize the situation with a lot of parents and the economic condition that the country is just coming out of. So we're simply trying to pass it on and say thank you to all those people who've helped us over the years.
We try to keep the prices as minimal as we can. We ordered from California this year instead of further out east, like in China or places like that, because the freight is like 20-something thousand for a trailer.
Some retail experts predicting a record-breaking back-to-school shopping period with encouraging signs of a rebounding economy. But for the best bargains, it's always good to prepare. Desmond Saunders, The Bahamas Tonight.
Well, come Monday, some 1,400 students of Nassau Christian schools will mark their 3rd week back in the classrooms following the long summer recess. Despite the threat of COVID-19, the Soldier Road and Old Trail campus has seen a noticeable increase in first-time students, according to Principal Lisa Miller.
I'm actually encouraged with the number of students, new students to our enrollment. Now, of course, things are still fluid, and some have registered and not enrolled just yet. but numbers look really good. And so I actually think that that might indeed be a testimony to the COVID period being behind us, because seems like it's a testimony to maybe our economy is doing better, because parents are really interested.
But is the product or the school's brand the only attraction to Nassau Christian schools? Miller contends there are a few other factors to consider.
We build character. We emphasize values, certain types of values. We look at moral standing. We teach our children personal moral responsibility. Others don't. But you know, with the biblical emphasis, Nassau Christian Schools, our motto is thoroughly Christian and fully academic.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
We considered my shoppers totally gone. The Abaco people here is resilient.
So you're looking forward now to what's ahead.
Join us for 1 week as we give you an in-depth look at rebuilding Abaco, beginning August 29th through September 2nd from 2 to 4 p.m. only on the ZNS Network.
We elevate. Elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate, elevate, we elevate.
I'm Corval Pyfrom. A promise made is a promise kept. More safe, accessible, and free internet as many areas across the country is what's happening. Jubilee Gardens, now the latest community joining the Wi-Fi in the Park initiative.
So we would have met with the government a few weeks ago, and we were informed about the government's intention to provide Wi-Fi on the park for citizens who would normally not have access to the internet, in a way for them to bridge the digital divide. And we were so excited and honored that they chose us, PPC, to be the partner to help them do this. We've already connected 27 parks throughout the Bahamas. So we're going to be coming near many parks. So for all those who are waiting, don't distress. We will be in a park near you very soon.
Well, on behalf of the government and the people of Tall Pines, I would like to thank BBC for partnering with us and partnering with the government to be able to provide this essential service, not only at this park, but all the parks throughout Tall Pines. We have a lot of people, even though this may be classified as a middle-class area, some people do not have internet access, and some of the kids need internet access in order for them to do their school as well as projects. We intend to use this particular Wi-Fi connection to launch many other programs in the Tall Pines constituency.
BTC is always on board and happy to be just there. We mean community because heart is not just something we have, it's something we share. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well and be back here. Next, BTC Connection.
Welcome to the Global Learning Exchange. We're partnering with BIBT to bring opportunities for higher education to the Bahamas. Earn your degree from a university in the U.S. right here at home. Visit us online to learn more.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know? There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give up your time.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
The people injured in that vehicular accident on Exuma Monday are being treated here in the capital. Confirming as much, the island's Member of Parliament, the Honorable Chester Cooper.
Apparently there were 5 tourists and 2 locals injured. They were transported by an ambulance last night at about 11:30 p.m. and they're receiving care. Our thoughts and prayers go out to them and their families. And as more information becomes available, we'll share it.
Meantime, police in Eleuthera arrest 2 New Yorkers on drug possession charges. The 29-year-old man and a 24-year-old woman were allegedly caught with a quantity of suspected marijuana. The pair was arrested Monday afternoon in the Princess Keys area. Investigations continue. It's time now for a check on Family Island weather with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishita. We are currently under near clear skies with a temperature of 88 degrees, a relative humidity 78%. The winds are out of the east at 6 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,013.6 millibars. That is 29.93 inches, and the pressure is steady. Temperatures around the family violence this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. It is 87 degrees in Clarence Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, and Betsy Bay, Miguana. Also, Acklands and Regatta Island at 87 degrees. Turks and Caicos Island, 87, and Matthew-Town, Unagua at 86 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the Northwestern Islands tonight through Thursday, those winds are going to be light and variable with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. Low tide takes place at 49 minutes past midnight. You can expect that high tide at 6:34 tomorrow morning. For the central and southeastern islands through Thursday, the winds are going to be southeast at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
I heard my bulldog bark. He was barking at the 2 men who were gambling in the dark. It was Stagger Lee and Billy, 2 men who gambled late. Stagger Lee threw a 7, Billy swore that he threw 8.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
See, you done won all my money.
Awesomely, this is a beautiful experience. I can't lie. This is my first time doing this sort of charity work, and I mean, it feels good to help out, you know. There's a can drive coming up, and other initiatives are part of the Giving a Helping Hand campaign, and I encourage anyone that's willing to lend their support in any way, shape, or form to come through and give of your time.
This is Personique Role from Island News Network, where we're always in the know. We're investigating Island Game, and what we want to know is how they doing what they doing. Now, the news on the street is that there are 13 Percy pension plans where you get paid $1,000 every week for a year. Now, I got my man on the ground to find out how true this is. Hey, we live.
Yeah, I was just checking on something.
How Island Game doing what they doing?
And listen, now this ain't no fake news. The Island Game have 13 different pension plans. 13! All you gotta do is put $20 on your verified Island Game account.
Can you confirm this information?
See it right there?
Incredible. There you go. There's a story here, and now you're in the know.
The government of the Bahamas presents The Courage to Rebuild, a national Hurricane Dorian Memorial Week,
Friday, August 26th through Saturday, September 4th. On Friday in Abaco, a weather symposium featuring local and international weather experts. On Tuesday, August 30th, a focus on Hurricane Dorian and mental health. On Wednesday, August 31st, official updates on government repairs and the airing of the documentary, The Courage to Rebuild. Thursday, September 1st, remembering the victims. You're encouraged to wear your Hurricane Dorian memorial pins for a small donation to go toward Hurricane Dorian reconstruction. Also on Thursday, a memorial service at the Friendship Tabernacle Church in Abaco and a wreath-laying ceremony along the SC Boodle Highway. Flags will fly at half-mast, a concert featuring international recording artist CeCe Winans. Friday, September 2nd, the Grand Bahama Memorial Concert at the New Life Worship Center, featuring Grand Bahama's leading gospel artists. Saturday, September 3rd, the Abaco Memorial Concert at the Friendship Tabernacle, featuring some of the country's leading gospel artists and those from Abaco. Sunday, September 4th, a wreath-laying ceremony in East Grand Bahama and a memorial service at Jubilee Cathedral. The National Hurricane Dorian Memorial Week, taking courage to rebuild.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
Welcome to your Tuesday Sports, everyone. We're roughly 48 hours away from one of the biggest basketball games in recent Bahamian history. This is the Bahamas men's national team set to take on Venezuela in the latest window of the FIBA America's World Cup qualifiers. Players as well as officials from the Bahamas Basketball Federation holding a press conference this morning alongside title sponsor IO Cares in the foyer of the Thomas Robinson National Stadium. Now, while he's no longer the man in charge of the Federation, the Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, Double Mario Bole, says he has great confidence in the team and their chances over the next 6 games.
But again, and I say congratulations to the coaching staff, president of the BOC who is here, because him along with me anticipate us moving to the next level. And most importantly, I say thanks to the corporate sponsors who come along in partnership with the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture to ensure that the Bahamas Basketball Federation and this national team continue to elite to heights, higher and higher heights.
National team head coach Chris DeMarco says practices have certainly been intense, which bodes well for the product on the floor.
We've had training camp this week. It's been incredible. It's been the best turnout I've seen. Yesterday we had 21 people in the gym. It was really high level, and we're still selecting the team right now. So we don't have our final 12 yet. We should have a decision by the end of the day today. But it's been really competitive, and again, it's been the best I've seen.
And for players NBA star Buddy Hield and guard Michael Thompson, support from local fans will certainly be vital to their success.
We're excited. We extend our bite to the fans to come up and support us. The energy we had last game was great, and we didn't get the victory that we wanted to, but we got to the next round. But having y'all support and you guys behind our back means a lot for the players. And the environment is great, and a lot of these guys don't get to play home as much, and to see you guys come out and support us each and every each time we're here means a lot for the players and much for us, and we feed off the energy. And like I say, thanks to all the sponsors, that shows their support to us, the gym, and like I say, major thanks to all the players and all the players that before us and our players to come, and just gonna keep getting better and moving in the right direction.
I'm really happy to be here. Every time I get to put on this jersey, it means a lot to me because my dad never got to do it. So I'm very proud to be Bahamian, and I mean, it means so much to be here. And so we appreciate everything. The fans coming out last time was amazing. We could definitely use that again because they kept us in the game even when we weren't playing our best. These 2 games are very important. The Bahamas has never been this far in qualifying events, so I'm just excited for this game on Thursday and ready to get moving. So.
While this window will feature perhaps one of the best players ever to step on the hardwood for the 2-4-2, there will be one glaring name that won't be suiting up. Phoenix Sun star center DeAndre Ayton, who initially was expected to represent the Bahamas in this window, will not be playing. Addressing the elephant in the room, Sports Minister, the Honorable Mario Boleg, had this to say on Aiton's availability.
No, I have not. I understand he's on the island. I was told that last night, but I haven't reached out to him as yet. But I don't think, I believe that, you should want to play for your country. That becomes a personal thing. You shouldn't have to go and have to beg or plead to any individual to represent their country. I think that's something you should want to, when opportunity comes to go and want to represent your country, I believe that, it's a love. I mean, you can't take none from Aiton. He did it before. I can't tell you his reason why. I haven't spoken to him. I don't know if anybody else has spoken to him, but I can't say for what reason he decided not to play.
More basketball news. Bahama Jonquil Jones and her Connecticut Sun had a chance to wrap up their playoff series against the Dallas Wings on Sunday, but unfortunately fell 89-79 at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Connecticut. Jones was on the court for 22 minutes and shot 6 for 12 from the field, including 1 3-pointer to finish with 20 points. She was perfect from the charity stripe, making all 7 of her shots there. Jones missed out on a double-double as she pulled down 9 rebounds, 5 defensive boards, and 4 offensive rebounds. The reigning WNBA MVP also had 2 block shots. The Sun tried to come back in the fourth quarter as they trailed 76-47, but the cushion that the Wings had was just a bit too much. The Sun outscored the Wings 32-13 in the fourth quarter, but again, the lead was too large to overcome.
The execution problem, if you look at the first half, we got wide open shots. So I don't think it was an offensive thing. I think it was us on defense. Defense has been our main catalyst for the entirety of the season. So we have to get back to that. Just getting stops and running and playing in transition. And tonight, I don't think there was ever a time when we could say that we got 3 stops in a row versus game 1, where we had so many different times where we got 3 stops in a row. We were able to run, we were able to push the ball in transition and play our type of basketball.
That's been a look at sports on this Tuesday. A check on weather when we return.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
At the Nature Conservancy, we believe in working with fishermen and communities in order to improve the sustainability of queen conch in the Bahamas.
The crux of the issue here is that there are not enough mature conch staying in the water to reproduce and produce enough offspring to sustain the fishery into the future. So the project is to visit a number of fishermen in different parts of the Bahamas and showed them how to do the research on the queen conch and determine what may be the best proxy indicator of maturity by measuring multiple different parameters.
These engagements give fishermen and communities an opportunity to see how scientific research is conducted and be a part of that process. By the end, fishermen are asking for more information on how they can further be involved in research.
Knowledge is power. A lot of people want power, but they don't want to get the knowledge. So I think what you're all doing is real helpful for us to give us knowledge. I learned something from this meeting today.
We hope that by conducting these engagements, the Bahamas can be an example of how communities, researchers, and government can come together to work towards sustainable fisheries, not only here in the Bahamas, but around the world.
What? Check old girl, boy. Say she getting married? Oh, man, not again.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to join this man's BTC home internet with this woman BTC mobile service in holy matrimony. So they'll pay half the price compared to the other guys.
What's wrong with you? Just let them...
Madam, do you have BTC mobile service?
I do.
Sir, do you have BTC home internet to unite with her mobile service?
I do.
Get all the internet you want at half the price when you bundle your home internet and mobile service.
So, what services do you have?
Me? I have BTC at home and on my phone.
Visit any BTC store to make the switch today.
Honey, everything okay?
Everything's fine.
Shop online for free in-store pickup in 2 hours or less.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we get started with our satellite picture. And as you can see, we have this mid to upper level troughing across the northwest Bahamas that will continue to support pockets of showers and even some isolated thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon hours. Tropical wave affecting the Turks and Caicos Islands with some showers there. Some of that will also push into the southeast Bahamas tonight and tomorrow. Our forecast for tonight, we're going in for partly cloudy, a bit on the warm side with your low temperature down to 79 degrees. And tomorrow, we are looking at partly sunny and hot with widely separated thunderstorms in the afternoon. High temperature tomorrow, 91 degrees. And your extended weather forecast for the next 7 days, we're going to have those showers looking around for several days, but it becomes a bit more cloudy over the weekend. Friday and Saturday, we're looking for mostly cloudy skies with showers and thunderstorms. Temperature-wise, going to keep you into the 90s right through the 7-day cycles, save for 1 to 2 days where we'll drop below that mark. Nighttime temperatures on the warm side at 80 degrees. Makishla?
Well, thanks, Basil. Well, as the saying goes, age ain't nothing but a number. No truer words for Doris Smith, who today marks her 100th trip around the sun, but feels half her age. Celebrating the big day with the new centenarian, Governor General, His Excellency Sir Cornelius Smith, who, as customary, presented the birthday girl with a message from the Queen, his family, and a bouquet. Doris, a former educator, was born in Savannah Sound, Eleuthera on August 23, 1922, before moving to the capital. It's here that she met and fell in love with Harvey Lance Smith, the two parents to 9 children, one of them former Senator and Attorney General Claire Hepburn. Hepburn today joined grands and great-grands at the family's homestead off Fowler Street to celebrate the milestone. As for Doris, she offered up these inspiring words.
I would like everyone to love each other, and when things are rough and you don't have no money and you just do the best with what you have and be satisfied, and don't try looking over there what they have, and they might be worse off than you.
Well, there you have it, and that does it for the Bahamas tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.